A rule that you have that I find silly.
Kind of OCD, so.
Yeah, the house needs to be clean every time we have company, and not clean as in pick it up. I mean clean as in the president is coming to the house. What phrase do I say often?
Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of those.
It is. It's not phrases. I just feel like you're always keeping me like cool and hip on the words, the new words.
It's very hard to do. It's very hard to do.
Like the word that comes to mind, just because I remember asking, I was like, what does that mean? When you and your friends were like, yeah, bro, you gotta have Rizz.
Oh.
It's like, are you talking to a girl? I was like, no, what is Rizz?
I regret teaching you that word because hearing you say it, it's just, it's embarrassing, but I'm like, I know
I'm saying it right.
But you don't need
your
to say it.
Your mom has Rizz.
You don't need to.
Okay. But yes, I think like words like that. And then it's funny to me because also I feel like I've gotten so much older, like I'm old now, because you guys will say phrases that you think are cool and new.
Oh,
and
we think it was made up.
Yeah, we were saying in the 90s. Like, what were y'all saying the other day?
I think the other day I was like, oh, that's hard. And you were like, oh yeah, it is hard. I was like, Mom, you don't say that word. You were like, it was a phrase from when I was younger.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, but I think
Rizz
is definitely sticks out in my mind.
Just say it less.
All right, next. Oh, it's me? Okay.
I think so.
What's something you wish every mom knew about kids?
Well, I feel like this is something a lot of moms know, but we're a lot more sensitive than you think.
You know what? I agree with that.
Like you may think when you're disciplining us in some ways that maybe we don't care as much, but we care a lot more.
You know what I always say, like when I tell people being a boy mom has been so eye-opening, it's because I didn't realize how sensitive young boys and even young men can be.
That is true. I was just about to say, girls and guys are different, but in a lot of ways we are the same.
You don't always express it, but yeah, I agree with that. Okay, next one. What part of my life before I had you are you most interested in?
Your teenage years. I want to know what you did.
I was perfect. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, where's the camera so I can do
my... You know what? I was kind of a nerd, so I feel like there's nothing like really juicy about it, but...
Okay, sure.
I did skip school a couple times. I was living on the edge a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Okay. What is your favorite memory of us?
For sure, I think the thing that I cherish is when we just have like heart-to-heart conversations. And that's something that I've always taken seriously. If you remember, like even when you were little, we would go to Starbucks and have our tea and talk moments.
I do remember those.
Yeah, and just when we're sitting down and you're just telling me about life and what's going on with you, I think those are definitely my favorite memories.
Those are definitely some good times.
Yes.
All right. Well,
okay. Me? Okay.
Yes.
What's your favorite way I show my love for you?
Favorite way you show your love for me? I'm not gonna lie, the hugs are top tier. I love the hugs. And as you mentioned earlier, the conversations that we have, you're always checking up on me, seeing how I'm doing, and checking on how you're doing as a parent, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
I feel like that strengthens our bond.
Yeah.
In a great way.
I think it's interesting. A lot of people say that it's strange that I ask you how I'm doing as a mom. Do you think that's weird?
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because then you know where you're making your mistakes, or if you're making any mistakes at all, which your mistakes are pretty minimal.
Thank you.
Minimal.
What's a rule that I have that you think is silly? Oh my God.
A rule that you have that I find silly.
Kind of OCD, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
The house needs to be clean every time we have company, and not clean as in pick it up. I mean clean as in the president is coming to the house. And the president is not coming to the house. It'll be the next door neighbor, and I have to clean the whole house.
I know, I can't help it. You know what I thought you were gonna say? My rule about shoes.
Shoes, what about them?
Just how they have to
they have to be maintained
in the box, yeah.
You can't dirty up a shoe in this house at all.
That's so weird. I don't even know where I got that from.
Ooh, what's the biggest lesson I've taught you?
Oh, oof. Oh man.
There's a lot of them, so I need to know one.
What you trying to say?
I'm a great teacher. What do you think?
Surrendering. Like faith is big in our household, and I'm always telling you to have faith and trust God. And I think being a single parent, that's something that I've really had to work hard at. I mean, I like to have control. I like to know what's next. And I think when you become a parent, that's impossible. You just have to step out on faith, and just to see the way you operate and show up in life, it's so inspiring. Like, it's hard for me to be an actress and, take this journey as a creative. And you started at 11. And I will never forget that day. I was like, are you working on your lines? Are you doing this? Are you ready? Are you prepared? When you're working on Family Reunion, you're like, Mom, my process is different than yours. Like, I got this. And I was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna get mouthing her off.
yeah. I was like, that's right. Like, I told you, God, I was gonna lean on you, put my hand in yours, and you've been a reflection of that, if that makes sense. So I would have to say just faith, just next level faith when you become a parent. You have to lean on that. Yeah. What's the biggest lesson I've taught you?
Biggest lesson you taught me.
Yeah.
Biggest. I'd probably say how to have integrity, be honest, and be unapologetically you. Because, I mean, you're unapologetically you, no matter where you go, no matter who you're talking to. You always tell it like it is, which is something that I really wish I was good at. Because a lot of the time I feel like I'm too nervous to show people who I am or express how I'm feeling. Yeah. And you've helped me get better at that. Yeah. Nowadays, I feel like I can even come to you, which I wasn't great with that either. Yeah. But now I feel like I can come to you with anything that's on my mind. Yeah. Yeah.
You've gotten a lot better. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, now. Okay. Next question. What do you love most about me as a parent?
What do I love the most about you as a parent?
I'm a cool mom. Case closed. No, just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. No, you are a cool mom. But I'd probably say how much I can relate to you. Well, not even just being in the business, like being able to go to you for advice on being in the business, but listening to stories about how you were when you were younger, and kind of realizing how much we had in common as kids. Well, you were a kid a long time before I was born. But,
a long time.
Oh, wait. That's not how that was
going to come out.
That's not how it was going to come out. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from listening to what you were like as a kid, and how to be a perfect child like I am. So.
Perfect child, that's a stretch. But I will say this, like, I tell people all the time, we grew up together. I had you young, obviously, and like I look back on it now, I'm like, how did we get here? But I think that's been the coolest part of our journey, is having you young. So we had to figure this out together. I mean, I've always told you, it's like us against the world.
Oh yeah, we're homies.
Yeah, yes sir. Okay. Oof. What y'all trying to do over here? Okay. Do you feel heard and understood?
That's simple and easy. Of course I do. I feel heard.
Really?
All the time.
Do you? Because I think sometimes, we have our heart-to-hearts. You're like, Mom, you don't understand.
Well, that's just like my child brain thinking you don't understand because you've never been through it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you go back about 50 years ago, you were going through it.
You got one more time to copy. Go ahead.
No, I do feel seen and heard. Yeah. I relate to you in many ways.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question for you.
I mean, hey, do you feel heard and understood?
For the most part, yes. But I also think, and now I understand it, like as an adult who has a child, a teen child, I will call my mom now and say like, oh my God, what was I putting you through? I now get it. Like, I was a menace. and it's...
Oh, so you've admitted it?
No, cut the camera.
You admitted it.
No, but I think it's going to be one of those things where, and my answer is to a certain extent, I don't always feel heard and understood because you're not going to really get it until you've lived more life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, because we communicate and it's something that we focus on in our household, I do think for the most part you hear me out to your best ability. Yeah.
Dope.
Okay. You can
I'm
take
good
the
at
last
this.
one.
All right, I'll take the last one. Ooh, this is good.
Okay.
What about me inspires you?
Oh gosh.
Try not to cry, Mom.
Oh,
Try not to cry.
I just got chills. Okay. I think you are one of the most incredible human beings. And I'm not saying that because you're my child. Like, I look at you, whether, it's seeing you last year walk across the stage, the graduating top of your class, choosing to be in a business that I didn't necessarily want you in, and having a whole career at like 12, 13 years old, and not letting any of that get to you. You're such a good person. And I think it's why you have the fan base that you have the following that you have, because it just resonates. Like, you are such a light. And I think that like something happened the other day where you were like, what? Because I was just looking at you. And I just, in that moment, remember saying to myself, like, thank you, God. Like, he chose me to be his mom. He's pretty cool. I need tissue. But yeah, you're pretty special. You really, really are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So are you. So are you.
Oh gosh, I said I wouldn't cry.
I know. Immediately after I said try not to cry on this one.
Yeah.